Hello guys, Sam Mark here. So I'm starting to realize that suing the WWE all of a sudden has become such a popular thing. Because according to this report, Eddie Gilbert's father is suing the WWE for using Eddie's likeness. Now, most of you are probably wondering, who the heck is Eddie Gilbert? I'm not going to stand here and pretend that I know a lot about Eddie Gilbert, because I don't. Although I am a big fan of WCW in the 80s, and I do go out of my way to watch a lot of 80s pay-per-views from WCW back in the 80s in the WWE network, I do not know a lot about Eddie Gilbert. In case you want to know more about Eddie Gilbert, I'm going to post a link of a biography of his in the description below. But for a brief overview, I'm going to tell you that Eddie Gilbert was a wrestler in the 80s and also a booker that was known as Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, and he wrestled for multiple territories back in the old territory system. That's it. He never held a world title or anything. And when it comes to, mainstream legends from the 80s, Eddie Gilbert isn't really talked about that much. Even though I've seen a couple of his matches, I think that he is one of the more, hidden gems from the 1980s that people don't really see. But the thing is, he never had a chance to create a legacy for himself because he died at the young age of 33. He tragically died from a heart attack. Something that we haven't heard already. Things like this even happened back in the 80s. He died of a heart attack and drugs were thought to be involved. So, according to this report, I'm going to read it right now. According to the report from TMZ, Tommy Gilbert, the father of the late Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, has filed a lawsuit against World Wrestling Entertainment for using Eddie's likeness without paying Eddie's family. Tommy Gilbert is not trying to stop the WWE from using Eddie's likeness, but he wants Eddie's family to be financially compensated for WWE doing so. WWE issued the following statement. Through the years, WWE has acquired the legal rights to library footage of various former wrestling organizations, including Extreme Championship Wrestling, World Championship Wrestling, and Mid-Southern Wrestling, among many others. WWE has made substantial investments to acquire these copyrighted works and has the legal right to use them. Similar cases in the past have been unsuccessful, and we expect this case to be dismissed. Now, there are some people that could turn this around and say that he does have the right to get compensation for WWE using Eddie Gilbert's footage or name. But the problem is that Eddie Gilbert has been dead for 20 years. He died on February 18th, 1995. I wasn't even alive at that time. So, another thing is that WWE acquired the rights to many of these promotions that he worked for around the early 2000s, right after the time when WCW was bought out. So he waited over a decade to finally complain about this. This is just another cash grab that we've been seeing over the weeks go by with Viscera's wife, Luther Reigns, Roman's long-lost brother. What is the problem here? Eddie Gilbert has been dead for 20 years, and when people scream out professional wrestling in the 1980s, I don't think Eddie Gilbert is in the top 10 most talked about subjects of that era. It's people like Ric Flair, Steamboat, Hogan, Savage, so many names over Eddie Gilbert. Eddie Gilbert died at the young age of 33. It was very unfortunate. It's tragic. My heart goes out to his family. He was taken away too young. But what money is WWE making with the Eddie Gilbert name or any footage? Do I see Eddie Gilbert t-shirts, legend t-shirts on WWE Shop? Do I see him having a Hall of Fame induction? Do I see him being name dropped? No. So there is no money being made with Eddie Gilbert. He is just on the network. A couple of his matches are on, and now he thinks that they should be compensated. If every single ex-wrestler is being compensated for their appearance on the WWE network, then there would be no WWE network because the budget would just go out of this world. So once again, this is another bullshit case that isn't going to go anywhere, and that just makes everyone involved in it just look stupid. Eddie Gilbert is a good wrestler. I heard that he was also a pretty good booker too. But when you scream out 1980s, you do not hear the name Eddie Gilbert 9 out of the 10 times. The man was taken away from us at the age of 33. Not nearly enough time to make a legacy for himself. So any of this bullcrap, we need to get paid for the name Eddie Gilbert. There is no money being made with Eddie Gilbert. WWE is not making a cent off Eddie Gilbert. So that just wraps up everything. Remember to follow me on Twitter at @TheSmark. And please support this show by just liking the video and subscribe. And if you see anything wrong with this, because I don't know much about Eddie Gilbert, but if any of you do know, and he was this great revered character, and I'm just full of crap, please tell me in the comment section below, and I'll mention it in a future update. So, until we meet again, guys, stay gold and have a good one.